I am Muktiananda Ma, and I am speaking to you from what I call Alarian, which is a realm of divine beings. In this realm, we are united. You are only listening to this if there is a connection to the mission or divine destiny that we share, which is to be a part of a new race of beings in the world of death. This race of beings are beings who have given birth to their eternal nature through a death body without death. And so we gather together, this one way of connecting with all of you, this shared reality that we are co-creating as one in a Buddha field, in another realm. Already I have witnessed other beings who have awakened to the divine nature and the call to embody their eternal being in form, in what we would call a physical body, meaning a matter form. And yet we are living in a world, our daily lives, whatever they may be, whether with families or jobs or other responsibilities. We are navigating how to live from the eternal ways in a world where we embodied originally as a limited being in a limited world, who believe their self to be separate from the world reality, the realm they find themselves in, and bringing this eternal knowledge that is already existing within our being, and awakening that and making the conscious choice to live from the awareness of being eternal in all affairs of life is what many of us are working with at this time. How is money and resources and work, how is that projected on the screen of life when we are grounded in our eternal nature, in our nature of oneness, in our nature of being the source of all we see and experience? It is quite a reorientation and often disorienting when this process begins, but it is part of the transfiguration process as you re-identify with an eternal embodiment identity, which is a body matrix, an emotional matrix, a thought matrix, and all the other matrices that make up your life, a world matrix that is born of eternal knowledge of life and you. And so today we open the door through our humanity representative to ask the worldly questions, the day-to-day questions that we can address together.
Thank you. Thank you for coming and thank you for being. I will, on that note, bring it right down into the world. I understand it's all my consciousness, but for example, I went to visit my father recently and it felt like I fell into a lower dimension. And while I love him, I find it challenging to communicate with him and hold my higher state.
Yes. This is what we are talking about, this transition, this disorientation to the world. The gap between you as your eternal being self and the world that is still being projected. The task of an eternal embodiment it, to one who is enlightened into the realization of oneness and creator of the world that they experience is to not only become enlightened for one's own self, but to become enlightened to realize the truth of the world that you see and all beings in it. And so, as an eternal being, you don't only remember your own eternal nature, your perfection that is at the core of who you are, the dance that you are currently doing for your play, for your desire to expand and experience more, but you recollect that for all in your world, whether it be a father, a boss, a child, a grocery store clerk, whether it be a tree or an animal, whether it be an experience of joy or an experience of fear. You are recollecting, you are remembering, rejoining, reweaving a reality fabric that all is eternal and life is always reaching for the light, for expansion into the light, for greater and greater love and good in everything and every being, and all that needs to happen is your attention and recognition of this truth within yourself, and to apply that truth to all that you experience. And then you will see the unfoldment of not only enlightenment within, but enlightenment without, which is you. You are both. And so, visiting your father, there were still two, was there not?
Yes.
And so, is this making things more clear?
I understand it, and yet the experience happens. It's almost like being congested or having a cold when you interact with certain aspects of your own consciousness.
Well, you still held you and him.
Right.
You as awake and him as not.
Right.
And so, yes, at the level of your play, it appears he is not awake. But that is because you held that as your consciousness. Rather than looking for his wakefulness, you were looking for his sleep. You are guarding against what you believe to be a threat to your wakefulness. And so this is the unraveling that first happens within yourself. You do not see the change in the world first. You see first the change in yourself. And how you react to the world determines whether you've awakened the world with your enlightenment. By recognizing it was always you that limited the world, not the world that limited you.
Thank you. Well, there goes a lot of my questions.
You can ask them anyway.
Uh-huh. Well, I mean, my concern was I love him, but I don't, for the time being, enjoy communicating and would prefer to essentially go into my own cave of meditation until I am more.
It's all good. There's no right, there's no wrong. If that is your desire, then we recommend that you follow that.
Mhm.
It seems like you are torn between two desires. And so, if you like, we can help bridge those.
Yes, well, obviously, I love to help my father, um, and yet
What would be the greatest liberation and help to your father?
to him be awakened and free of the limitation in his consciousness.
So, we recommend that you hold that as his reality, whether you see it on the screen yet or not.
Right.
Perhaps he is awake and he is waiting for his screen of life to unfold that truth. See, we don't really know the chicken or the egg. But for you, for each of us, our work, our focus is on our own consciousness, not just our consciousness about who we believe ourselves to be or experience ourselves to be, and changing that to more and more truth, but also that of others. You give them the benefit of the doubt. The doubt being that you doubt what you see on the screen, for you know that in truth that all beings are awake, and you are seeing just a shadow of play on the screen of life.
Thank you.
What else? As the representative of humanity.
I have some very basic questions that are more material, but
We have opened the door.
uh-huh. Should we go to Mexico for a retreat? I know this is not your function.
Well, there are many questions of should I's in humanity. Should I do this? Should I do that? I guess the first thing is you must know your aim before these questions can be answered. And the aim that brings you the most feeling of expansion and light and joy. The aim that makes you feel the most at ease without internal conflict. This aim. So, what would your aim be for your life at this time?
I don't like my ideal dream.
What are you shooting for in your life from a being perspective?
I would say my tendency is to be a giver, and so to be very abundant and pouring that forth to beings in whatever form is needed.
Yes.
I find that appealing.
So then you look at your aim, and it's not always a matter of yes or no. It could be not yet. You feel whether this should I do this or should I do that is aligned with this aim that you're holding now. And then whether the timing is aligned with the same vibration that your aim is. It's important also to look at intentions of doing X or Y. What do you think that activity or action will harvest for you?
Well, I think it's a completion in consciousness. I mean, I guess it's all my consciousness, so it's really giving to myself. And so there's a wholeness in that healing or giving.
So it is something that you would like to give to yourself?
I suppose that is the root desire.
Yes. So what do you believe is stopping you from doing this?
Well, I see it on a more grand scale of pouring forth this light, right? This
Well, you're
whether it's
talking about an action in Mexico.
oh, I see. Well, this I feel contributes to an awakening to a new level of consciousness, this particular retreat. And so I'm wondering if this is the best choice.
Well, the fact that you're wondering means it is unclear.
It is.
And so you take your aim of your life now. Is it to become more and more expanded? Is it, and then you see if that aligns with the action.
Right. I will review that and meditate on it.
Yes, often these questions about what to do and not to do can be very much simplified with what is the most, and then whatever that you value, you put in the blank. What is the most blank for me?
Mm.
What is the most, so if you're into giving, if you're into expansion, if you're into joy, what is the most joyful action for me to take in this situation? What is the most liberating action for me to take? Oh, for you, what would the blank be? What's your focus?
There are different.
What type of being are you growing into? What is most prevalent and important to you?
An awakened level of consciousness.
Yes, but what experience is that?
That is me.
What feeling state?
Empowerment.
Very good. So, what is the most empowering action with regards to this decision for you? And it should be very clear. There might be concerns about certain things, but the immediate answer will be there. What is the most empowering choice to make in this decision? And what is the answer?
To wait until he has another one in Florida.
Yeah, very good. So this is, not about your particular choice and decision to make. This was more for those that are trying to make these bigger decisions in their life, a way to go about that. What is your focus of being right now? Are you focused on being more expanded, more joyful, more discerning, more empowered, more peaceful, more settled, all the things? And whatever that priority now is for you, you apply it to the decision. Will this bring me more empowerment now? Is this the most, what is the empowering choice? What is the settling choice? Meaning settling and not settling for something, but settling in your being feels settled. It feels solidified, it feels comfortable, it feels relaxed and confident. So we hope this helps. We'll take one more question.
Thank you. Yes, that does help reconcile divine timing, divine appointment. Well, you had mentioned something about money, and I don't know that I wanted to broach this question.
Maybe humanity does.
Okay, I'm just going to put it out there. It feels like we are in a time where there's a lot of transition in the world regarding financial systems, and it would appear that blockchain is the new system. For those that would say, that are Christian, that would say this is Revelation 13, the mark of the beast system, is that in everybody's reality, or is that just some other I mean, can you speak to that what that is?
It's very interesting as an awakening being or an enlightened being. The limited self is always looking for certainty about reality. This is the truth, this is not. Is it not?
Right.
This is the way I must go because this is the way of truth and this is the way not. And if I don't know the difference, I'm in big trouble. Right?
Right.
So when one becomes enlightened and recognizes that nothing is either less nor more than any other experience, because all experience is, and in the isness it is valued. It is expansion into experiences. And so there are literally the potentiality of unlimited realities and realms of experience with regards to blockchain and the financial options that we see going on in your world right now. You must choose. For every day, you will see more than one reality represented to you like an infomercial on the screen of life. And each of these realities would love for you to participate in the reality, but it is always up to you. You may change the channel and tune in instead to the reality that you would enjoy participating in. There is no fixed truth in the game of life, in the sense that there's a right way and a wrong way. Of course, there is the ultimate truth of your beingness and the beingness that all are, this ever-present goodness of life. But in reality, it's all experience. It comes and goes. And it is operated by free will, or you could say will. It is operated by will, which is attention, which is focus. Whether it's subconscious, which would be chained will, or it's liberated, which is conscious will, a direction of your focus, of your attention, of your energy. So what would you say for your reality?
I am entering into a very high reality of victory over death, and so it's just a tool to free humanity.
Very good. Then that shall be your reality. The thing we want to emphasize, because this trips up so many, you must remember to keep your liberation, that everything you see on the screen of life is a reflection of you, who is an unlimited being, showing to you the various and variety of realities every moment that you can navigate towards. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And so always you will see things you prefer and things that you do not. What you prefer is no less or no more real than the things that you do not. But if you operate from fear, you will gravitate towards the things that you do not, putting your attention on those. If you operate from love, then you will focus on the things that you prefer. Does that make sense?
Yes.
We thank you for today. This is Mukti Ananda Ma, who is a collective we, who is an embodiment of all lives coming to a central point of an I am in a world of death, transcending it for the glory, for the joy, for the adventure of being an individualized expression of all that is.